Hello everyone, welcome back to Blacksmith Studios. My name is Jack and today we will be doing a breakdown of the Joker Folie Deux trailer. Now, this trailer I know has come out a while ago and I know this is a breakdown that is coming a much later, but again, I'm trying to get that hang of all this YouTube and the scheduling stuff, especially with my personal life, so I do apologise, and that's all I can do, I'm afraid. But we finally have the Joker Folie Deux trailer, and let me just say first off, this trailer really gives me the impression that this film will be great. The first Joker movie I'm going to rewatch tonight just out of pure love for the movie, and I cannot wait to watch this. It's so different to any other comic book movie. You can barely call it a comic book movie. And I think that this Joker movie and the sequel needs to be a sort of bonk on the head to DC and Marvel to let them know that there are projects out there that they can do which are basically movies starring their heroes or villains. Make a plot that has nothing to do with superheroes and just put a super villain or a hero in the center of it. Such as a serial killer type movie, which could have Carnage at the center of it. Just as an example, but this trailer is so incredible. It's such an amazing use of music, and shots are incredible, especially the last shot as we get to. But I just thought I'd openly say how much I love this trailer and how excited I am for this project, and I hope you all are too. But anyway, without me rambling on again, let's get into the trailer.
Let's go, boys. It's showtime. Wakey, wakey.
Hey, Fleck, you got a joke for us today?
So we start the trailer off with Arthur now in his cell after the events of the first movie. He is now in Arkham Asylum after killing Murray Franklin on his TV show, as well as some Wall Street guys that he was known for in the first Joker movie. And of course, he started many riots in Gotham City. So, of course, he is now in Arkham, especially since he suffers from many mental disorders. Now, the guards are in the background of the scene as Arthur is shaking. And, the guards say that it's showtime as they're talking to some of the inhabitants. And they even ask Fleck as they approach his cell, hey, do you want to tell us a joke? This is a nod to, obviously, Arthur's theme of being very comedic. But the showtime reference is very reminiscent of the fact that this movie will be a kind of musical and be very theatrical, like a stage performance. So this, it's showtime, kind of leans into the fact that this, again, may be another movie which we cannot trust and may be in Arthur's head a lot. The next shot we see is of Fleck walking down the hallway with two guards next to him, and then this is clearly in the next shot of Arthur after he's taken out of his cell, as he walks past a room with the inhabitants of Arkham Asylum in a sort of choir, and we see Lady Gaga's character, Harley Quinn. Harley and Arthur lock eyes, and instantly you can tell they can't take their eyes off each other. They are almost obsessed with each other. It's like a love at first sight, but there's this eerie sort of uncomfortable feel to it. It's like not like love or lust at first sight. It's more of an obsession almost instantly. I mean, the title Folie Deux translates to the folly of two, meaning basically when two people by close association have a shared delusion or mental illness. So this could be Arthur affecting Harley, or both having this sort of same shared mental illness. So this again brings up another complication for the audience. In the first Joker movie, we couldn't trust Arthur. He was an untrustworthy perspective that we couldn't quite get our heads around. With Harley in this one, can she be trusted? Can we trust anything that's going on? The answer is no. But regardless, we then see Arthur being pushed away from Harley's gaze into a nearby hallway. Now, this is obviously very aggressive, but it just shows how their eyes were so interlocked that the guard had to force Arthur away. Just shows their relationship being unhealthy right off the bat. But anyway, let's get to the next clip.
We use music to make us whole, to balance the fractures within ourselves.
I'm nobody. I haven't done anything with my life like you have.
So the next shot we see is of Arthur in a dark room, seemingly his cell in Arkham Asylum, smoking a cigarette as we hear a man talk over the scene saying we use music to help us make us whole, to balance the fractures within ourselves. Also during this dialogue, we then see Arthur being taken outside into the rain, seemingly right after he's seen Harley for the first time, and of course we see the same guards at either side. The guards are holding a grey and sort of black umbrellas in this shot, because obviously it's pouring down with rain, and as Arthur looks up at the sky, we're then shown a bird's eye view of Arthur and the guards, but the guards are now holding colourful umbrellas. Suddenly, colour has been let into the umbrellas, and it's an interesting thing because Arthur's world, the perspective of the world is from Arthur, and if he is now seeing things in a different light, and he may be feeling more musical, maybe more colourful, and he's now perceiving the umbrellas as something colourful rather than something gloomy, and he's expecting some sort of music. I do believe that this will be one of the first musical numbers of the film, as Arthur could be singing, saying, "Oh, I found the love of my life," as he's looking in the rain, literally dancing in the rain with the umbrellas, all colourful and everything. It's a very musical kind of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised. So the next scene we see is of Harley climbing very similar looking steps to Arthur when he climbed in the first movie. Now, of course, these steps, they were in a lot of promotion, but there's a deeper meaning behind them in terms of psychological meaning in terms of the story. So these steps are sort of Arthur's way of showing his inner emotional state as well as his sort of status in the world now, in terms of his own perception of it. So in the first movie, he's climbing up the steps slowly. He's very slow and, he's like just getting through life and it feels hard. He's pushing. Every day is difficult. Every day is getting harder and harder because of his depression and all these problems he's facing. And then at the end of the movie, he was in all Joker makeup, dancing down the stairs like it meant nothing. Now that he's seen the world in a different light, he's enjoying life. He's like, you know what? I don't care anymore. And he's just enjoying it. And of course, we see Harley in this movie do the same thing. So she's struggling with some sort of inner thing, similar to Arthur, Folie, Deux, remember? And it could be that Harley is going through very similar struggles, and we could even see the two of them dance down these steps later. We do see them dancing down some other steps later on in the trailer, but we'll get to that. Then we are seeing a shot where Harley is pointing fingers to her head, like a gun. Similarly to how Arthur did in the first movie, and of course she pulls the trigger. Now, this was a reference to Arthur possibly killing himself in the movie, and so the fact that Harley's doing the exact same thing, maybe Arthur's wake-up call to say, this girl is going through the same problems as me. We even hear Harley state, I'm a nobody. I haven't done anything in my life as you have. So, it's again mirroring the fact that both Harley and Arthur are going through the same thing and have been through the same thing. Now, my personal theory is that Harley will follow Arthur and look up to him throughout the movie. Only for her mental state to not only match Arthur as the Joker, but then become go beyond, even more sadistic than Arthur's mental state, and eventually, at the end of the movie, I see either Harley admitting that Arthur died, and this is all in her head, or Harley will go through a similar murder as Arthur did in the first movie. And who else could she murder but Joker himself? It could be that the two of them break up at the end of the movie, and Harley takes action and kills Joker. That would be such an incredible moment to see in the movie, but it all depends, because this obsession, could it turn too far? We just don't know. But anyway, let's get to the next shot. Now, just to remind you all again, this is a musical, so of course we need music. We see a shot of Arthur on a stage from the looks of it, as he is in his full Joker makeup preparing to sing a song. As we see a spotlight shine on him, he is now the center of attention, not anymore in the sense of a comedian, but now a singer, now some sort of musical act. Now, this of course is referencing the fact that this is a musical. Now, I don't believe that this is true. So we then see a shot of all the Arkham inhabitants watching something, whether it's a movie or a stage performance, and Arthur sitting among them. Now, it looks as though this little bit here goes back and forth between reality and Arthur's head. We could be seeing Arthur feeling like he is on the stage performing to the Arkham inhabitants, but then Harley sort of snaps him out of it by saying, "Let's get out of here." Joker then sort of switches between the stage where he's in his full Joker makeup, approaching Harley in this beautiful white dress, almost like a wedding dress, but then once again it switches and we see both of them outside dancing in the rain as we hear the music "What the World Needs Now Is Love" by Jackie DeShannon from 1965. Now, it flashes between these two shots. They're both dancing, so which is real and which isn't? That's the question. Now, a part of me believes that this is all in Joker's head and that, certain bits will be from the perspective of Joker just imagining it. But it could also kind of be from both their perspectives. The one where Joker's literally on stage dancing with Harley could be from Harley's perspective. The one where he's by himself on stage could be from his perspective. And the one where they're both outside dancing in the rain could be from both of their perspective. And it's just an incredible moment. And it could be that these two are in this twisted reality and they're actually just imagining it all, and they're actually telling this story to someone else. This could be from Harley's perspective, telling her own children how she met their father, or even telling the tragedy of the Joker and how he died. Of course, as I stated before. So it's very, very interesting, and it's cool to see how their perspectives cannot be trusted, and they have now begun their own twisted little fantasy.
It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world is in love, sweet love.
Tell us, what's changed, Arthur?
The next shot we see is of Joker running down the street being pursued by two men also dressed like Joker. One is actually dressed like the Joker at the end of the first movie, and the other one is dressed just like one of his followers. People have been saying that these two could be actually Arthur in his own mind, which they could be. I've also thought that these could be a musical number. It could be part of a musical number with the soundtrack in the background whilst he's running away. But if I'm being completely honest, these are probably just two of Joker's followers who want Arthur's attention, and obviously Arthur doesn't want to be near them because that would kind of give his location away to the police, and we even see a police car run one over. The next shot of the trailer is very familiar to many people who loved the first movie. This is the Murray Franklin show, but now it says Joker and Harley. Now, of course, the Murray Franklin show was a pivotal moment in Arthur's life as he admitted to the murders that he had committed, and he even killed Murray Franklin on stage, which started the riots in the first movie. Now, it seems that Joker and Harley are doing this for a different reason. But is it real? Or is it one of those false fantasies that Joker or Harley are believing? That they would leave Arkham and get their own television show? Or is it real, and has Arthur actually gotten away with all the things that he did in the first movie? It's just hard to tell. We even see Joker and Harley now all dressed up, dancing on stage with the bands playing in the background. This would be a really cool part of the movie, especially if it's not real or ambiguous. We then cut to Arthur being dragged down a hallway at Arkham, and he's laughing his head off. What's interesting about his laugh, though, remember, is that he doesn't necessarily laugh when something funny or he's happy. It could be at any time. It's unwarranted laughter no matter what, no matter how he's feeling. So it's hard to gauge what he thinks or feels in this moment. But it's interesting how he's back at Arkham now. It's like the trailer is taking us slowly out of Arkham and he's giving them this massive show where he can do what he wants and it's his life and he's finally living the dream of being famous and loved. But then suddenly he's back at Arkham in one little shot of the trailer. I don't believe that these two will ever leave Arkham Asylum. That is my personal opinion. But we will see what happens. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. We then see a shot of Harley climbing the courthouse steps. Clearly, this is to Arthur's trial, where he may be let off for his crimes. Once again, this could be in her head, where she actually believes Arthur is doing the right thing, and a judge might see that. But let's face it, maybe not in Gotham. We see many people around the entrance to the courthouse with placards and Joker masks saying, "Free the Joker." Clearly now the people of Gotham believe that Joker is doing something good for the city, and he, like I said, he might actually get away with this crime that he committed in the first movie. And just to note as well, Harley is in full costume here, and the design looks absolutely amazing. And of course, we then see a shot of Harley's costume up close as she's putting on Joker's makeup. We even cut to Arthur sitting across from Steve Coogan's character, not too sure who he's playing, as he is asked, "Tell us what has changed." Now, Arthur then says in the next, little clip I show you, that he's not alone anymore. And that's what has changed since the first movie. Now, just to remind you, in the first movie, there was a lot of talks with the therapist, as well as at the very end of the movie. So it's very hard to gauge whether that was real or not. But Steve Coogan is clearly this person who was telling Arthur about music, freeing the soul, and repairing what has been fractured within your mind. So it's interesting to see Joker back in therapy again, especially after the first movie, how it ended. So I'm very curious to see what Joker will be talking about to his therapist here. Then the final bit of this little clip is of Joker and Harley dancing down the courthouse steps. As I stated before, the steps analogy and sort of representation is important to Joker, and the fact that he's doing with the Harley down the courthouse steps. I can see this being a musical number after Joker wins his trial and is freed, and he is dancing down the steps with Harley now that they've won, and then they eventually go on and start their own show together. I just think it's really cool and interesting that this happens and that they're doing it together in an homage to the first movie.
I'll tell you what's changed. I'm not alone anymore. That's what we should be talking about.
So then the next clip, of course, we see is of some police vehicles possibly driving Joker, or Arthur, to the court. And of course, we then see Arthur within the van being, having his adoring fans all around him as he's handcuffed and he's waving as though he's like the Queen or King now, waving at their adoring crowd as they trot through the streets. That's essentially what this says to me. And now it seems like the trailer is showing Joker now after the first movie as this martyr, as this amazing figure that people love and worship. And it's really cool to see this as a difference between the first and the second movie. I also just realized that it could be that Arthur, when he's in his normal clothes, it is real, and when he's in the Joker makeup, then it is fake, or if he's getting it painted on him. That's just a quick, cool little idea that I just had off the top of my head right now. But anyway, we then see more possible music numbers as we see Joker in a white suit on a stage with Harley dancing down this winding path towards him at this sort of center sort of area. And it looks like it's a wedding scene. It looks like this is a look at their wedding. And of course, they slowly, Harley will slowly get to the end and they'll get married. And this could be another example of Harley telling their kids how they met. We also get some quick shots of Joker and Harley kissing through the cell bars as Joker's blowing smoke in her face. And they quick, show them kissing on stage again. And then we see Arthur in a bar hitting a patron with a stool. But he's also holding the microphone in this scene. So, again, is it real? Is it not? Now, what I've just sort of clocked is that musical numbers in musicals are sort of separate from the story. It's like the characters go into this own little world where they're just being with each other, and like people walk by and it's like they don't acknowledge that there's a musical number. It's like all at once, all these people are within this reality singing and dancing, singing the same song. All of a sudden, no one knows. But it's not really a logical thing. No one does that in real life. And it's almost like this is what the Joker Folie Deux film and the trailer is trying to show. That Harley and Joker live in this little reality when they're not a cosmic multiversal reality. I mean their own little fantasy. Now, just to go into this very shot, it's them dancing on this sort of rooftop, and it's the shot that we saw earlier, and you see a huge sign in the background that says Hotel Arkham. Now, this is clearly one of the musical numbers, and it adds this weird romantic fantasy to their grim reality of being in Arkham Asylum. It's like they've made it from an actual horrific thing for them, and now it's suddenly their little escape. It's very, very strange. And I mean, a hotel, again, escape. We then see Arthur talking to Steve Coogan's character again. Of course, Steve Coogan's off screen, but we hear Arthur shout, "That's what we need to talk about." So what he's saying, as I stated before, is that now what has changed since the first movie, he's not alone anymore. And that's what they need to talk about. It's as though Arthur's now having Harley take over his entire mind and his life, and he doesn't want to talk about how he's feeling and these negative thoughts anymore. He wants to talk about why he's happy. But it could be that Steve Coogan and his character is scared of that. Maybe it's the positive side of that will lead to something more dangerous. We then finish this little clip with Harley, what I believe may be Harley and a few people trying to rob a store with TVs behind a glass window, and Arthur's on the screen. So this could be how she saw Arthur on the Murray Franklin show kill Murray Franklin, and how she then started that obsession. So it could be that when they saw each other, love at first sight scene, maybe it wasn't really a love at first sight. Maybe it was Harley finally seeing this person that she looks up to, and Arthur going, "Oh, she looks cute." It could be that. We just don't know. But anyway, on to the next clip.
I want to see the real you.
Now we're getting to the good bits. We see a shot of the two characters running down a hallway at Arkham with a fire growing behind them. This could be how they broke out of Arkham, using this as a distraction. But again, could be another example of a false fantasy, that they believe that they just burn it all to the ground and escape. But that may not be true. We then see Harley drawing lines over her face while she's looking in the mirror. This could be an homage to how Arthur did the same thing with his makeup in the first Joker movie. Once again, extremely apparent that there's a parallel between them, and they're both kind of mirroring each other. And these two movies could be both the same sort of plot. The first movie and the second movie could be a similar plot of Arthur and Harley, separately of course, going down this path of insanity. And it could be how they do it. And of course, Harley Quinn's makeup looks incredible here. Those are the Harley Quinn lines down her face. It looks incredible. We then see a few other shots. We see Arthur laughing in the rain that we saw in the teaser trailer. But remember, this does not mean that he's happy. But it could be that he's happy. This could be the first time he laughs and he's really happy. Not funny, not seeing something funny, but just love and happiness, because this is clearly just after he's seen Harley Quinn. We could see him see Harley Quinn, have this musical number with these colourful umbrellas everywhere, then back to him laughing. Maybe he's just realised that that was just in his head as well. So it could be a sad moment that we're seeing there. So we then see a quick shot of a huge explosion, which I did check looks to be at the Joker and Harley show. It could be that there's a massive explosion, like a showstopper explosion that ends the show. And that could be towards the end of the movie. It's obviously caused by one of the protagonists. Then we see a cut to Harley Quinn pointing a gun on the Joker in their sort of stage show. Now, this could be a nod to how Joker pointed a gun at Murray Franklin and shot him. And again, this goes into my theory of Joker being killed at the end of this movie by Harley Quinn. But we just don't know. This could just be part of the sort of play, and they're trying to joke about the fact that, oh, I've got a gun, you know, oh, it's funny. And the crowd will obviously be fans of them. So it could be something that they're all into. We then see Joker and Harley dancing separately on the stage before we see Arthur staring at Harley in what seems to be a prison interview room, in one of those rooms where an inmate sees a visitor, like a visitor room. And there's this glass screen, and Harley starts drawing a red smile on the glass with lipstick. Why she's got lipstick in Arkham Asylum, I don't know. How they sneak these things in, maybe it's through their prison wallets. But anyway, she asks to see the real Arthur. So Arthur lines his face up with the red lipstick and smiles, and it lines up his mouth with the red lipstick perfectly. A genius shot, if you ask me. Absolutely genius shot. It's such a cool parallel. It's like Harley is the only one that can see Arthur for who he is, and she only wants to see him that way. And it's just a beautiful shot. It's a beautiful shot. Absolutely stunning shot. And then we cut to the title card for Joker, Folie, Deux. What do you think of this? I mean, personally, the first film explored that corruption of Gotham and how Joker was the result of that corruption, fighting back against the city. And now, even though the first film was quite ambiguous, it begs the question. This one seems even more ambiguous. And it begs the question as well, whose head are we in here? Are we from an outside perspective actually looking in? Or are we within the within the movie from the perspective of Harley or Arthur? Or are we from another perspective? I just don't know. But another thing is, I really do want to see a lot of ambiguity in this film. I want them to explore that mental illness and show it in new ways that we haven't seen before. I do not want this to be another Joker 2019 film. And if I'm being honest, I would like a little bit of something to do with Bruce Wayne from the first movie. And whether he does become Batman. An even cooler concept would be Arthur Fleck dying at the end of this movie, and Barry Keogh's version of Joker from the Batman takes up the mantle of Joker in his passing, and then we can basically go about saying that Joker was part of the Matt Reeves Batman universe. Of course, that's probably not true. It's just the actual title card gives that sort of vibe of the Matt Reeves universe, so I just don't know. But anyway, let's get out the way here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's a long one because there's so much to explore with Joker and Harley and their mindsets, and I want to get it right for you. But please, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feelings. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. I don't care. Just talk to me. Let's have this conversation. This is why this channel is made, to have this community where we can talk about things nicely and discuss what could be going on. It's very interesting, and I cannot wait to see this movie. Or any other trailers, to be fair. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe for more content like this. I do trailer breakdowns all the time. And yes, they may be late, but I promise I'll try to avoid that. And just to let you all know as well, there will be a Superman pitch coming, as well as a few other videos that I put on a community post recently. But please follow me on Twitter at John the Blacksmith. It's down in the description below anyway. But yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.